This week I worked on the mask painting, and this painting, I feel like there's been a lot of ups and downs with this painting for sure, even in the same day, the same hour, where I'll feel like excited that the painting's really coming together and I can see an end in sight and see where I'm going and taking it, and then also the same thing but the opposite, where I feel like I'm just kind of like going in circles with it and I don't know how to pull it together. And the thing is that with this painting, the mask painting, and then also the toy car painting that I've been working on, I know I can paint them and make a good painting, but I'm really experimenting a lot with paint and seeing how far I can push paint and how far I can manipulate it to get really interesting things happening in the painting, but then also a beautiful image as well. And so with the mask painting, I feel like the issues with it is that it's kind of lost this whole unification across the whole thing. Things look kind of spotty and a bit piecemeal, and I've been solving that in little ways. The flowers now around it I like a whole lot better. I feel like that's taken a couple layers for me to figure out how to do it, because there's a lot of small pieces with it, with all the stems and all the petals, especially because, well, there's medium-sized flowers and then like really tiny flower heads as well, so figuring out how I'm painting that, but I feel like that's going in a good direction. And for that also I'm putting in variety where the brush strokes size is different, so a lot of it's kind of smaller brush strokes, but then in the top left I've have a brush that's maybe a 4 or a 6 flat, and I'll just like lay down a brush stroke that represents like a couple petals into one. So I'm getting variety with brush size, which is good. But the thing with the mask, well, I did a lot of correcting the smooth part of the mask with like the nose and the mouth and getting that to line up better. And then also with the part of the mask that's more the sculptural part of it that has all the neat design in it, I have this idea in my head how I want that to look with how I'm laying paint down, where it has like a certain texture to it, and I can't do what I see in my head yet, and I don't know if that means that I need to practice more with doing that, or if it's a medium issue. I think it might be actually a medium issue, because I think what I need the paint to behave a bit more like molasses and kind of like a thick syrup. So maybe trying out that Canadian balsam that I've heard about. But what I was doing, not getting the paint to have like, if it was having a thickness to it, it was getting too bumpy texture rather than like a smooth, thick blob of something that still like holds the brush stroke. I guess it's hard to explain exactly what, but anyways, I was trying it and I couldn't get it. So then I started to do this other thing, and I feel like, so with the mask, what I'm not happy about with the sculpture part of it is that it's like it's lost that unified feeling in it. Like there's no atmosphere across it. It's very like stark contrast between the shadows and the light parts of it. And then that too, there's just like a lot of little tiny details that go through it. So to keep it showing that, but also have that unified feeling too, I'm not hitting that sweet spot between the two for showing like the unifiedness, but then also the specificity as well. I need to now work on getting it more unified, and that's what I'm going to be working on later. But I think I'm just going to put the painting aside for now, because I'm getting pretty frustrated with it, so I'm going to be focusing next week more on the toy car painting. And then I have cool news. I just found out that I got accepted into this art show that's in Sacramento, California, called Bold Expressions. And then I just got my 2 paintings that are going to be in that show back from the framers, and this is the first time I've gotten paintings professionally framed, and it looks really cool to see my paintings in a presentation like that.